The biggest sporting event on Earth is about to happen, and if you've never watched football before, 2026 is probably the best time to start, because this World Cup won't just be bigger than every World Cup before it. It will be the biggest one in history. For the first time ever, 48 countries will compete, not 32, 48. And by the time it's over, more than 5 billion people are expected to have watched at least part of it. That's over half of humanity. But what exactly is the World Cup? Why does the entire planet seem to stop for it? And how does a tournament with 48 countries actually work? Let's break it down. Every 4 years, countries from around the world send their best football players to compete for one trophy. Just one. The FIFA World Cup. It's often called the most prestigious trophy in sports. Not because it's the most expensive, not because it pays the most money, but because almost every football player on Earth dreams of winning it. Some of the greatest players in history spent their entire careers chasing the World Cup and never got it. Others became legends because they did. In 2026, the tournament will be hosted by 3 countries: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This is the first World Cup ever shared by 3 nations, and it will be played across 16 different cities. From Mexico City to Vancouver, from Toronto to New York. Millions of fans will travel across North America to watch it live. But before any match begins, countries have to qualify. There are 211 national teams officially recognized by FIFA. That's more than the number of countries in the United Nations. Yet only 48 can make it to the World Cup. For years, teams battle through qualification matches. Some qualify easily, others miss out by a single goal, and some never make it at all. Once the 48 teams arrive, the tournament begins. And this is where 2026 becomes different. Previous World Cups had 32 teams. This one has 48, so FIFA created a new format. The teams are divided into 12 groups. Each group contains 4 teams. Every team plays the other teams in its group once. That's 3 matches per team. A win gives you 3 points. A draw gives you 1. A loss gives you 0. At the end of those matches, the top 2 teams from each group advance. That's 24 teams. But there's a twist. The 8 best third-place teams also qualify, which means 32 teams reach the knockout stage. And this is where things become brutal. Because from this point onward, one loss can end your entire tournament. No second chances. No do-overs. Lose once. Go home. The round of 32 becomes the round of 16. The round of 16 becomes the quarterfinals. Then the semifinals. Then the final. And after more than a month of competition, only 2 countries remain. One match, 90 minutes. Maybe extra time. Maybe penalties. Everything comes down to that moment. But why do people care so much? After all, it's just football. The answer is that the World Cup isn't really about football. It's about identity. When clubs play, fans support a team. When countries play, people support an entire nation. For a few weeks, millions of strangers become united by the same flag. Cities fill with celebrations. Schools stop classes to watch matches. Entire economies slow down during important games. In some countries, World Cup victories are remembered for generations. People can tell you exactly where they were when their country won, even decades later, and the pressure on players is enormous. A mistake in a regular league game might be forgotten in a week. A mistake in a World Cup can be remembered forever, because the audience isn't thousands, it's billions. That's what makes the tournament different. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend. The 2022 World Cup final between Argentina and France was watched by nearly 1.5 billion people. That is roughly 1 out of every 5 humans alive. Watching the same event, at the same time. No annual sporting event comes close, and 2026 could be even larger. The tournament will also feature some of the biggest stars in football, players who have spent years preparing for this moment. For many of them, this may be their only chance. A football career is surprisingly short. Most players get only 1 or 2 realistic opportunities to win a World Cup. Miss it, and the chance may never come again, which is why emotions run so high. The celebrations are unforgettable, but so are the heartbreaks. Every World Cup creates heroes, and every World Cup creates stories. Unknown players become national icons overnight. Last-minute goals change history, and moments that last only seconds become memories that survive for decades. That's why people keep watching, not because they know what will happen, but because nobody does. In fact, some of the greatest moments in World Cup history were considered impossible before they happened. Massive underdogs defeating giants, defending champions eliminated early, penalty shootouts deciding the fate of entire nations. The World Cup has a habit of producing outcomes that seem unbelievable, and that's exactly why it captures the world's attention. For 1 month, the entire planet shares the same conversation, the same tension, the same excitement, the same stories. And then, just as quickly as it arrived, it's over. One country lifts the trophy. The confetti falls, the celebrations begin, and the rest of the world starts waiting for the next one. 4 years, just to experience it again. So if you're new to football, here's the simplest way to think about the 2026 World Cup. 48 countries, one trophy, billions of viewers, thousands of dreams. And after years of preparation, it all comes down to a single champion. Because for 1 month in 2026, the biggest competition on Earth won't be about clubs, cities, or individual players. It will be about nations. And for billions of people around the world, nothing else will matter.